Well, good afternoon, everyone. Jim here with you again for our next episode of the COVID devotional. When I was a junior in high school, I went on nearly a month-long mission trip to India. And our base of operations was a city that was then known as Madras. Today it's known as Chennai, on the east coast of the country. Now, the building that we stayed in was right on the Bay of Bengal. And one afternoon, we boarded a boat, if you can call it a boat. It actually wasn't much more than 3 logs lashed together with an engine attached to it. But anyway, we got on these boats and we went out about a mile and a half from the shore into deep water just to do a little bit of swimming. It was a beautiful day. Now, not only was that water deep, it was also shark infested. And the initial plunge into the deep was, well, in a word, it was a rush. Now, I'll admit I didn't see any sharks, but just the knowledge that they were there made the experience exhilarating, to say the least. I know the experience was a bit crazy, but given the opportunity, I would probably do it again. And that's probably the craziest ocean-going experience that I have ever had. Now, while there are ocean-going experiences that are exhilarating and do give us a rush, sometimes they give us those feelings for all the wrong reasons. Heart-pounding, pulse-heightening, sweat-producing, goosebump-inducing panic fests that we would rather have nothing to do with. Turning now to the New Testament, we pick up with the Apostle Paul, who was no stranger to hair-raising experiences at sea. Now, if we have our chronology right, as far as his life goes, this poor brother was shipwrecked 4 different times. Now, to have survived one shipwreck in antiquity is an astonishing feat in and of itself. But to do it 4 times is nothing short of miraculous. In fact, it was indeed miraculous. In Acts 27, we read about Paul's final shipbound adventure as he's on his way to Rome. Acts chapter 27 here, and I'm going to start reading with verse 33. As day was about to dawn, Paul urged them to take some food, saying, "Today is the 14th day that you've continued in suspense without food, having taken nothing. Therefore I urge you to take some food, for it will give you strength. For not a hair is to perish from the head of any of you." And when he had said these things, he took bread, and giving thanks to God in the presence of all, he broke it and began to eat. They were all encouraged and ate some food themselves. We were in all 276 persons on the ship. Paul and his companions had experienced a 2-week white-knuckle ride fraught with danger. But that danger and the accompanying fear of the unknown wasn't stronger than the power of God to protect them and to sustain them. Paul knew that he and his companions were safe in God's hands. Knowing this, he could speak to them with confidence about their fate. And what happened in this situation? Well, we just got to look down a few verses and we see exactly what happens. Again, chapter 27, we're going to begin in the second part of verse 43. So he ordered all those who could swim to jump overboard first and to make for land, and the rest on planks and on pieces of the ship. And so it was that all were brought safely to the land. As we find ourselves on a raging sea of unknowns, we do so realizing that while we're all in the same boat, we may not necessarily be in the same storm. For some of us, it's only sprinkling. The storm is a break. It's a breather. It's a pause from the normal. It's a time to reconnect with family and to slow down. This storm, as antithetical as it sounds, is actually kind of peaceful. For others, it's a bit more intense, a bit scarier. It's disruptive and driving anxiety levels higher and higher, higher than anyone would actually like to ever experience. We watch the news and we worry, struggling to find the truth in a sea of conflicting information. Can you identify with that? I know that I can. And for yet others, this storm is a hurricane. Torrential rain, gale force winds, and endless waves tearing at the boat and threatening to send the ship down, washing us out to sea in the process, or even worse, taking us down with it. So where do you find yourself at this point in time? The reality of the matter is we can and may experience any and all of them over the course of this journey. It's not right or wrong to be enjoying the sprinkles or enduring the storm at its worst. The encouragement here, of course, is to take time to rest, but don't minimize the hurricane engulfing your neighbor. Laugh at the memes, and yes, there are some great ones out there, and they're getting even better day by day. But also don't forget to get down on your knees for your friends and your neighbors to help them fight through their storm. One final word this afternoon is simply this. Remember, we're all in this together. We're all in the same boat, but we are indeed in different storms. Just remember, God loves you, and I love you too. Until next time, we'll see you later.